Welcome to Lawyers Who Care, the video show podcast that highlights attorneys who go above and beyond for their clients. And on each episode, we will meet a new lawyer and they will share stories of when they went beyond legal counsel for the benefit of their client. My name is Andrew Samalin. I'm the principal of Samalin Wealth, a nationally recognized wealth management firm for lawyers, their firms, and their clients. And let's applaud Lawyers Who Care and learn from them. Today, my guest is Jennifer Netska. She is the founding attorney of Netska Law, and they're based in Fort Lauderdale. Jennifer is known as Florida's crash queen, and Jennifer's practice is focused on accident and injury law. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you so much for having me, Andrew. Thank you so much.
So, Jennifer, tell us what brought you to the law.
So what brought me to the law? I mean, I love to be straight and honest from the outset. I went to college. I wasn't ready to enter the real world. I was always a book nerd. I loved to read, loved to argue. My family told me growing up, you're going to be a lawyer. And they were right. I really didn't know where I wanted to go. So I said, I'm up for the next challenge. And that was law school. So I went off to law school. And I fell into the insurance industry where I was defending, and I spent just about under a decade of years working for the insurance company. And I was defending auto insurance claims for the most part in big catastrophic injury type cases, working on the defense. And that's how I came into the practice of law. And they fully immersed me with all the things the insurance companies do to devalue, disclaim, delay. And I essentially mastered the tricks of the trade and what the defense was doing. And I used that knowledge to spread my wings and swap sides. And so now I represent injured victims and injured parties in their claims against big insurance companies, big businesses, mostly auto, but all things personal injury is our specialty. And I use that inside scoop or inside knowledge, as I like to call it, to better advocate for my clients. And so I gained that informal tagline or name, and we underwent a rebrand, and I'm known as Florida's Crash Queen. And so that's what I do. That's how I got into it. And yeah, we have a full team of 8 members. We're Florida based. We're licensed in New York, where I'm originally from. So we handle accident and injury claims across the New York state area as well as Florida. But Florida is our home base and where most of our clients are.
And so Florida crash queen.
Mm-hmm.
The nature of that is A, it's perfectly accurate. And 2, I hope it like puts a face a little bit more on, where you're coming from. And it just tells a story quickly and kind of simply and perfectly. Do you have a client story you want to share with us today?
Yeah, I do actually. And this one, I don't think I'll ever forget. I am so proud of what I was able to do for this client. And I know in my heart, it was the knowledge that I had working for the insurance companies for several years. I was introduced to an accident victim who was involved in a catastrophic type car accident. And they were previously represented by counsel who indicated to them that they essentially couldn't help them. There was no verifiable insurance coverage. The insurance company was giving a hard time. Every lead that they were on turned out to be a dead end. And they were shopping around lawyer to lawyer after the fact, and they kept getting rejected. And then she was introduced to me, and I was able to navigate some of the landmines that the insurance company was putting in place. And it's reading between the lines, knowing that fine print, and kind of knowing what some of those inside arguments are. And I was able to secure a $1 million insurance commercial policy that no one else was able to find. And the value of that client's case was surely deserving of that $1 million. And for her, that was life-changing. And she still speaks volumes and testimonies of me that she One, it changed her life. And two, which was even more touching for me, was she gave back to her family who had been supporting her after this accident. And she didn't even make it about herself and the needs that she had, which I know were so grave and so deep. She wanted to give back to her family who had been caring for her. So I'm so proud of that story, that I was able to, one, be introduced to her, two, navigate the landmines with the insurance company. She was flabbergasted that I was able to do this. And some of the lawyers were like, where was there a new insurance? How did that pop up? Was that a new insurer? Where did that come from? But it had only popped up once in my career, and I look back and I'm so grateful that I was able to secure that coverage for her, secure that win. And for her, it was life-changing. And since then, she has introduced me to friends, family, neighbors, churchgoers, and that has boosted my business and my name and my reputation, because the accident itself was a crash. And so it was kind of the initial fire that was lit under me for the tagline, Florida's Crash Queen. And so I'm very proud of that.
Well, you should be. So, I mean, Jennifer, before we wrap up, if you could leave our listeners with maybe one takeaway, what would that be?
That would be to do your homework and use the resources that are available to us. For example, we're on a podcast right now, and there's resources out there for you to essentially see what options are available to you, and to find representation and counsel that fits best for you. And so I may not be for everyone. We are a younger, modern, tech-driven, virtual law practice, but that may not be for everyone. And so the takeaway that I like to give to people is do your homework on what is available and what is out there for you, because I do find, and the example that I just given before, that there's so many people out there that fall into representation. They oftentimes don't even know who their lawyer is on the case, or they don't know what's going on their case. And there's so many resources and options available to you out there. And instead of just quickly signing up in a moment of panic and overwhelm and chaos after a crash, do a little bit of homework and do a little bit of research and work with the attorneys out there that you resonate a little bit more with, and that you have that level of comfort and candor with. And so that's something that I try to tell everybody. We're very active on social media. We have a lot of platforms out there. We are out there in the community. And so one, that may not be for everybody, but for those that it fits nicely with, our clients are over the moon, and we bond with them. We resonate with them. We get them. And that's available to everybody out there if they just use the resources at their fingertips.
By the way, that is superb advice, because ultimately it's a relationship business in addition to a skills business, but you're going to be applying your skills to that relationship for the benefit of the client.
Right. I see that clients will come to me and they'll say, it was a moment of panic. I didn't know what to do. It was a family friend and I just signed up with them. Whereas if you just take the deep breath, get online, use technology and resources, and find an attorney that kind of resonates with you. You like their style. You like the way they're handling things. You like the way they carry themselves. You like the promises that are being made. Find the right fit, because oftentimes clients will come to us. They've already been represented. They don't know what their lawyer's name even is, or where they found them, how they ended up as a client, where you can just do a little bit of homework and research. I have tons of resources and other relationships and a wealth of a network where if you just take a few minutes to breathe after being involved in a accident or an injury or anything, an incident, I should say, take a deep breath, look around, do a little bit of digging and homework, and use social media, use Google, look around and see who that right fit is, because it really could change the whole landscape of how a case works out, especially like the last one I just mentioned. Yeah,
absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, I'd like to thank my guest, Jennifer Netska of Netska Law Group in Florida. Jennifer, can you provide our audience with your contact information?
Yes, absolutely. Again, my name is Jennifer Netska. The name of the law practice is Netska Law Group, and you can find me at crashqueenfl.com, and on Instagram at crashqueen, QWN 866 Crash Queen.
Perfect. This has been the Lawyers Who Care video show podcast that highlights attorneys that go above and beyond. If you're an attorney or know one who does, feel free to reach out to us, 914-666-6600. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us today.
Andrew, thank you so much, and I wish you a wonderful day ahead. Thank you for having me on the show.
Of course.